everyone, and welcome to another episode of Monkey Around Reviews. Today, we have the Moka SFX 1000 watt Forest Haze machine. Now the haze machines are great. They're used a lot by DJs and for live productions. It's when you go into a club and you see the haze in the air, that smoky look to it, that really help you see the beams of light when you're walking around. So let's go ahead and open this up. It's pretty big and pretty heavy. Let me put the box on the ground and just kind of get it out. It's inside a foam. We'll get this bag out here. There we go. Take off this piece of foam and take off this piece of foam. That's it. So we got the machine and we got the accessory bag here. So the first thing we're going to do is open up this bag. You can see that it actually has a nice size to it. It's probably about a little more than a foot in each direction. Looks kind of square to me. Here on the front you have the exit for where the haze is going to come out, and it's adjustable to different angles. Hanging bracket to go on a truss. A little hook here for your safety chain. And then here on the back you have where you can put your fluid. It's got a little locking area here to keep it from wanting to fall out. Control panel right over here. Dmx 3-pin and Dmx 5-pin. Wireless control, on-off switch, and power supply. Now this holds 2.5 liters of fluid inside of it. They say that you get about 99 minutes per liter, so this whole thing full is going to give you 4 hours of haze coming out of it if you ran it at full speed non-stop. The machine itself, they say, can cover about 3,500 cubic feet per minute. They also let you know that the DMX is 2-channel DMX, and we'll go into the manual to see what those 2 channels do. And it takes about 30 seconds to heat up, and then it's good to go with no reheat time needed. So let's put this over here to the side so you can see it. And in the accessory bag we have one 3-pin DMX cable, one standard plug, one safety cable, the antenna for the wireless control, and then a AB switch wireless controller. And then we have the instruction manual. So here in the instruction manual, it states again about the same information that I was reading. It says that you'll get 4 hours of continuous output out of here. And then it goes into explaining about the DMX, the controls here on the back as well, which have timer functions built in. It goes into the information about the remote control as well, where the A and B button are your on-off controls. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this haze machine outside, because obviously it produces a lot of haze, which is smoke, which can set off the smoke detectors in the house. So we're going to take it outside, we're going to see how this thing works. I'm going to load it on up with some water-based haze fluid, and we're going to see how it works. Alright, so we're outside for obvious reasons, and I'm starting to lose my voice now, so I apologize for if that's going to bother you while you listen to me talk. But what we're going to do is we're going to set it up now and operate it in the 3 different modes that it has. We're going to use the remote control, DMX, and the manual control that's on the back of the machine. Now I already went ahead and filled up the container, and I'm just using standard Chevet water-based haze fluid. So we're going to turn this on, and we're going to see how long it takes to heat up and be ready to go. Alright, now one thing I forgot to mention is the DMX cable is not plugged in, because if you plug in the DMX cable, it knows that there's a board connected to it, and it will only work with DMX. So without it plugged in, you can still do your manual mode here and the remote control here. Now the remote control does not come with a battery. It takes a 23A battery. So as you can hear, it's not very noisy, but it's on and it says ready haze. It took maybe 30 seconds, if that, for it to get to that point. So it heats up pretty fast. Now if you hit the function button, it goes to interval set 10, duration set 10, Dmx 12 set, and right now I have it on 1, which is for channel 1. Volume set 100, fan speed set 100, and then back to ready haze. So if I take the remote control and it says if I hit B, it should turn it on and A should turn it off. I'm hitting B and nothing's happening. So I'm wondering if it's backwards. Let me hit A. And I actually can start seeing the fluid pumping through this hose. So the instructions are backwards. A is on, B is off. And we're already seeing haze, and it's coming out pretty fast. So now this remote does not have any control of volume. It's just your on and off. You come in here and you set the way you want it to be. So let me turn this off again. So I just hit B, it stopped flowing, and it's just gonna purge the line and then it'll stop, which you'll see in just a second. It's already getting thinner. And now it's off. So it takes a few seconds for it to stop, but most haze machines I've used are that same way. So now if you don't want to use the remote, I want to use the manual controls on here. We have some buttons back here that say function, and there's an up, a down, a timer. So with the timer, you can set your on times and your off times, and you can just leave it alone and it'll do what it needs to do. There's a volume and then a manual button. So I would feel that you just need to hit manual and this thing's going to turn on. I hit that and it doesn't happen. But I learned if you hit volume, that actually starts the pump. So it seems to me that volume is your manual on. And you can already see it start coming out here. So if I hit volume again, it stops the pump. So it seems that this middle button that says volume is actually the on-off for the manual mode. For some reason, I don't know what manual does. I'll have to find that out. So volume, it starts pumping. Volume again, it stops. And then we have the timer button, which if we remember, it was set to 10. So if I hit timer, it'll say interval, 9 seconds, and it's counting down. 3, 2, 1, 0. Duration 10 seconds. So now it's pumping. The haze is coming out. It just hit 0. And so now it stopped pumping. So it'll wait another 10 seconds and then it'll start pumping again. So it's a nice little way you can set it if you only want it to sputter out a little bit here and there. As you see, it's running again. And if I hit timer, that turns off the timer. So next we're going to attempt the Dmx mode. So I'm going to take my 3-pin Dmx cable and plug it right on in the back. It popped up Dmx 512 right away. It says set to 1. You can still change the channel while it's in this mode. So now I bring up my controller here. This is a 2-channel Dmx. So channel 1 is the fan. So all that's doing is running the fan right now. No haze is coming out. But as I bring in 2, that's going to start the pump. Right now it's, and I'm about 50%. If I take it up to 100%, it's now going at its fast pump. So we'll see it in just 1 second. And here comes the haze already. And if I bring it down again to 50%, in a couple seconds, we'll see the difference in haze that's coming out. So you can start seeing it now. It's a little thinner, but still coming out. There you go. So that's about 50% there. And then we can actually bring the fan down, but have the haze still come out. I'll bring up the haze so you can see it. So that keeps it a little more localized rather than dispersing with the fan. But personally, I always leave the fan all the way up. And then I adjust the amount of haze that I want coming out of it. And you bring them both down, and the haze machine has stopped pumping, the fans come down, and that's it. Now, while the DMX is plugged in, I don't think you can use the remote. I think once DMX is in, it's only DMX. So as soon as this haze stops, we'll check it again with the remote so we can see the difference. Alright, so it's clear now. I'm going to hit A, which turns it on, and it does not do anything. So yes, if DMX is plugged in, DMX only. If DMX is not plugged in, you can do manual control on the back, or you can use the remote control and turn it on and off manually with this as well. Once again, this has been Monkey Around Reviews with the Moka Special Effects 1000 watt Force Haze machine. If you've ever used one of these before, I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments below. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. And as always, make sure you subscribe. Hmm?